Dear conference participants, to date, many countries in the European Union, in neighboring countries and beyond, are trying to find solutions to address challenges in education, training and employment. Challenges are pressing. Not only do we need to create jobs to reduce unemployment and improve social justice, but we need to train our workforce to make sure that they have the necessary skills to make our economies more competitive. In this context, let me highlight a few priorities in our relations with the candidate and neighboring countries, which are at the core of our external relations. The vision which inspires European Union's external relations is one of a common space involving the European Union with its candidate countries and the neighbours to the east and the south, a space where political cooperation is as close, economic integration is as deep, and people-to-people contacts are as intense as possible. The human dimension of the European Union's policy towards candidate and neighbouring countries is one of its most important ones. Without a strong and educated human capital, there is no democracy, nor social development or economic prosperity. Education and training are important elements of this human dimension. Qualifications frameworks offer practical, concrete tools that allow citizens to use their educational and training qualifications to maximize their individual and professional potential. The European Union has, since 1994, invested heavily in the European Training Foundation in order to support the human resource sector in external relations. The European Union's accession agenda builds directly on the European Union Agenda 2020 and the agenda for new skills and jobs. There is strong emphasis on developing effective vocational education and training systems and strengthening social partnership. Candidate countries are looking at fully joining the European qualifications framework, and the European Union has been actively supporting this process, for example in Croatia and Turkey. The neighbourhood countries are one of the first priorities in external relations policies. At the moment, our neighbourhood is dramatically changing, notably in the south. As a response to these historic events, the European Union proposes a new response. Our proposals were made in the joint communication of the Commission and the High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy of 25th May on the European Neighbourhood Policy, which has been broadly supported by Member States. This new approach aims for a new level of ambition and commitment, particularly as regards a stronger partnership with societies, greater differentiation, and being ready to go further with neighbours implementing ambitious democratic and economic reforms. In practical terms, this means providing additional incentives on the basis of the principle of more for more. These incentives can also be summarized as the 3 M's: greater market access, increased mobility of people, and additional money. The European Union is offering robust packages to support democratic transition and political reforms. The European Union is also significantly strengthening its support to economic recovery and development, in particular the support to small and medium enterprises, job creation, and the development of poorer regions. And most importantly, the European Union is also giving renewed attention to human capital development, strengthening its support to civil society and enhancing mobility and people-to-people contacts. We are also busy in giving shape to so-called mobility partnerships, with selected partner countries, which should include enhanced legal migration opportunities and visa facilitation, together with strengthened measures concerning border management and the fight against illegal migration. Increased mobility for students and researchers and enhanced educational and cultural exchanges are part of this offer. Programs such as Erasmus Mundus, Tempus and the e-twinning program for schools are being expanded. In 2011, 20 million euro extra funding have been allocated to Erasmus Mundus to finance an additional 1,150 scholarships for individual students and staff in all of our neighborhood. In the coming years, both Erasmus Mundus and Tempus, which focuses on institutional university cooperation, will continue to receive additional resources. Dear colleagues, in our entire neighborhood, there is a great potential to further support vocational education and training based on already successful projects. The creation of a qualifications platform, as suggested today, and the holding next month of an International European Training Foundation conference on a regional qualifications framework for the Mediterranean countries are important next steps. We need to tackle jointly with our neighboring countries the immense challenges they face in the social and economic education and training, labor and migration sectors. Now, more than ever, the development of a skilled, quality labor force and the establishment of integrated qualifications framework for this labor force are needed. In this sense, I congratulate the European Training Foundations for this conference and wish all participants the best of success in developing and implementing such qualifications frameworks.